For everyone that loves cruising, we're getting to that time of year where the end of winter is in sight, and finally we can see on the horizon our summer vacations and plans. And we've seen from the news and the changes from Virgin Voyages over the past couple of weeks that this summer is going to be very, very special indeed. If you're brand new here, I'm David from VV Insider, which is a website all about Virgin Voyages cruises, all the information, the guides, and the news that you need to know when you're sailing on the best and the most fun adult-only cruise line there is. And it's our job here at VV Insider to tell you exactly what you need to know about what's changing and what's going on the ships. And this is our Virgin Voyages Insider Update, which is a regular catch-up of all the news and changes that you'll need to know when you're sailing on Virgin Voyages. This week we've got a whole host of announcements and changes that are very exciting indeed, including some brand new bar and drink menus with loads of new beverages and cocktails that you need to hear about. We also have some long-awaited news on who to expect to see on board the Comedy Fest voyage in the US. For those that want to take advantage of the Virgin Voyages loyalty program, but you haven't sailed with Virgin before, there's some news about how you can match your status into the system, and I'm going to tell you all about how you can do that. For fans of Lola's Library, we have some news about a brand new cast joining the show on Valiant Lady. We're going to meet the folks behind the new cast and some familiar faces that you might have seen on board before. So as you can tell, there's tons to cover in this update. So let's jump right in. VV Insider is the #1 resource for the latest Virgin Voyages info, guides and news. From picking the perfect cabin to booking dining, or simply just making the most of your voyage and saving money while you do it, VVinsider.com has helped thousands of sailors around the world sail smarter. Support our work by hitting subscribe and stick around to hear how you can get exclusive perks by booking directly with us. Starting off with some news for those that are joining the US Comedy Fest cruise on a 5-night sailing from New York City to Bermuda. These Comedy Fest voyages are a speciality sailing that introduces some familiar faces from across the comedy circuit on board the Virgin Voyages ships. And this time is no different. For those joining Valiant Lady on April 11th in New York City, you'll be expecting to see some big names from across the comedy world, and this sailing in particular is shaping up to not disappoint at all. These Comedy Fest sailings have been going on for quite a while now, but this one's a little bit different with the fact that this is actually a collaboration with a company called Don't Tell Comedy, which is a production company that creates comedy festivals in unexpected locations. In the past, these comedy festivals have been to backyards and warehouses. Well, now they're changing the scenery even more by going on board a cruise ship, and that ship is Valiant Lady. What this means in practice on board the ship means that we might see some unconventional venues being used for these comedy performances. So whereas before with the Comedy Fest, you might be used to seeing acts in the Red Room or the Manor, we might see with this new collaboration some different uses of some venues and some pop-up performances being employed as well. So it'll be really interesting to see what Don't Tell Comedy do to this particular Comedy Fest sailing. But we know when it comes to the Comedy Fest, people are really interested in who's going to headline the thing. So starting off, we have Chappelle Lacey, who is going to bring his high-energy storytelling style comedy to the high seas come April. Lacey is a regular at the Los Angeles Comedy Store and is really well known for his very direct and personal stand-up style. You may also know him from his podcast, Cooked in the Comments. Alongside Chappelle, another headliner on board this voyage will be Emma Willman. Willman is a stand-up comedian and actress who performs regularly at the New York Comedy Cellar. You may well have seen Emma on Netflix's The Lineup or The Late Night Show with Stephen Colbert. For those more of a fan of observational comedy, Usama Siddiqui is joining the lineup as well. Siddiqui has developed a name for himself with fast-paced comedy delivery, and you may well have seen him from America's Got Talent or a few Netflix projects he's been involved with as well. If you head over to our article on VVinsider.com, we have a full list of who to expect on this voyage. And if it sounds great for you and you have some free time in April, then why not head over to that page as well and make a booking? There is still some availability on this particular voyage. For those joining the UK Comedy Fest voyage in Portsmouth, watch this space because we'll be reporting on the headliners for that show as soon as we have the information, so make sure you stay subscribed to this channel. Some welcome news for those that sail multiple times with Virgin Voyages and like to see a change or two here and there. Well, there are some brand new bar menus and drink options available on board across the whole fleet, with some new alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. We've scoured these menus to see what differences there are between the old menus and the new, and here's the results. We have some brand new drink options available in the draft house, not only in the new Brilliant Lady draft house, but across the whole fleet as well. There's a brand new sangria option available at the dock house and the dock. If you've not tried the sangria in those venues before, it's fantastic. And we're really looking forward to trying this new option when we sail in the future. There's also some brand new cocktails available at On the Rocks and the Sip Lounge. For those of you lucky enough to be rock stars with a black band, when you head up to Richard's Rooftop, there are some new drink options available there, including a non-alcoholic Sunset Spritz. A venue that's sometimes overlooked is Juicy, which is the juice bar that's sandwiched between the dock house and the dock. Well, the Juicy menu has been expanded with some new options as well. One thing everyone will be very relieved to hear is that this new bar menu update surprisingly does not include any price hikes. This was one question we were asked multiple times as we were getting these new menus put together, but thankfully the only price rises there are to report are the price rises that happened a few months ago, where the minimum price of beer went up $1 and the price of a Red Bull went up $1 as well. One very cool new thing is the new option to have a Aperol Spritz party between you and your friends. This option is priced at $95, and with this you get some Aperol, a bottle of Cava, some sparkling water and some orange slices, so you can make your own Aperol among you and your friends. The availability of this Aperol Spritz party kit depends on the ship that you're sailing on, so when you're on board, make sure to ask around. But it sounds like the perfect way to spend a lazy afternoon. You'll of course be glad to know that the bar tab system still applies across the fleet and across all the options that I've mentioned. And if you want to preview any of these new bar menu options yourself, then head over to vvinsider.com, where we've been hard at work uploading all the brand new bar menus so you can take a look for yourself. These are all broken down per venue, and when they vary per ship, you'll be able to see that very clearly as well. But it's a great way to get an idea of the things that are going to be available when you set sail in the future. Now, of course, keeping these bar menus up to date is just one of those little jobs that we do here at vvinsider.com to make sure when you set sail, you know exactly what to expect and you can plan for the perfect vacation. Well, if you find those helpful tools and these videos useful at all, and you'd like to support us, well, the best way to do that and show your support doesn't cost you a penny. And all you need to do is when you're making your next booking with Virgin Voyages is just to make sure that VV Insider is linked to that booking. To do that is really, really straightforward. You just go over to our website and click the Book Now button, and any voyage you were looking at, you'll be able to find on our website. All you do is make your booking just as you would before. You just use the link on our website and that makes sure we're connected together. It really is that easy. And as a thank you for doing that, we'll make sure we give you some exclusive extras and perks as well. And you'll also be part of our loyalty program. So with that very first booking, you'll get your first set of diamonds and you can spend those diamonds on onboard credit on your future sailings. And again, this costs you no more at all. It really is a win-win. If you want to learn any more about that, or if you've got any questions for us at all, then head over to vvinsider.com/book and we'll answer all of the questions that you have and make sure we plan the perfect voyage together. And now is actually a great time to make those plans for the future, because recently the details of the brand new February wave offer have been announced. And this includes up to 80% off a second sailor and up to $350 bar tab and up to $300 sailor loot for every booking. These offers of course come and go, but this one is actually very, very similar to the wave offer that's just been and gone. That was incredibly generous, and this one is nearly the same value. This particular offer comes to an end in the next few days, so on the 26th of February, that's your last chance to snag this particular offer. If you have a sailing in mind, make sure you get it in there before the 26th of February. Now, some really exciting news for anyone that loves Lola's Library. Lola's Library is a very special cabaret show that's on board Resilient Lady, and started when Resilient Lady launched back in 2023. It truly is an iconic show that mixes dancing, live vocals, acrobatics, and a fantastic, if not bizarre, atmosphere that sailors absolutely love. Anyone that's seen it before will know that the titular character, Lola, is an absolute force to reckon with, having been played in the past by only 3 actresses, each of which are absolutely iconic and bring their own flair to the show. So in the past, we've had Meg, we've had Jodie, and recently we've had Lexi as well. Stepping into those iconic heels and donning those incredible glasses this time is Livy Rose. Livy is an actor, singer, dancer, and fitness instructor from Long Island, New York. She graduated from Long Island University with a BFA in musical theatre. Livy recently made her off-Broadway debut in the cast of the My True Love musical and starred as Dora Lee in Dolly Parton's 9 to 5 musical in North Carolina. This marks Livy's very first contract on board a cruise ship, so we wish her all the best and we just know she's going to be amazing as the new Lola. Joining Livy in the library is Karis Vaughn, who you may know from her previous engagements with Virgin Voyages, both in Persephone and Another Rose. And playing the iconic role of Dewey is Johnny Stranks, who UK sailors may recognise, as Johnny is a previous winner of Britain's Got Talent. If you're planning on sailing on Resilient Lady, you may want to learn more about Lola's library. Well, we have an entire guide that you can read through about this event and what to expect. And quite recently, there's a brand new show called Booked, a Lola's Library story, which launched on Scarlet Lady last year. The story of Booked serves as a prequel for Lola's Library, but includes some familiar characters from the original story. We've seen some very encouraging news from the Virgin Voyages brand recently, who've reported that revenues are up 20% this year during wave season compared to last year. This is really encouraging news for those that love the brand and want to see it go as far as it possibly can. It's certainly easy to see how the launch of Virgin Voyages' fourth ship, Brilliant Lady, has played into this, but industry reports are indicating that the kid-free strategy, the adult-only strategy on Virgin Voyages, is a real trend across the industry, and that's why we're seeing such a buoyant market when it comes to these kid-free cruises. I know for me personally, it's one of the things that keeps me going back time and time again. And it's one of those things, when you step off the ship and onto land, it takes you somewhat by surprise when you see a kid running around or screaming. It certainly makes you appreciate why you chose Virgin in the first place. There's been some new information about Virgin Voyages' status match program. The reason why this is so anticipated is that you don't need to have cruised at all before in order to match to a status program within Virgin Voyages. And that means if you have status already with a cruise line or an airline or a hotel chain, you can status match into the Virgin Voyages program. There is of course a list of programs that will help you match into the Virgin Voyages program, but the perks that you will get are blue extras. And of course, over on VVInsider.com, we have a list of all the perks that you'll get with blue extras. This includes dedicated sailor services support, including an exclusive line down in sailor services so you can skip the queue, an exclusive blue extras cocktail event where you get complimentary cocktails for an entire hour during the Blue Extras party on board your sailing. You also get a free bag of laundry during your sailing as well, which comes in incredibly handy. And you also get one free specialty coffee per day. You don't need to go to the coffee bar for that. You can order them in a restaurant as well, but you get that totally free of charge as part of the loyalty program. In order to match your loyalty status, there's a little bit of a process involved, but we spell it out really easily over on our article on VVInsider.com. And if you get in touch with us, we can help you make sure you match your status as well. So absolutely feel free to reach out. This week saw the release of some brand new Scarlet Lady itineraries going into 2027 and 2028. It all starts with this Halloween transatlantic sailing, leaving from Barcelona and heading to San Juan. San Juan will then be the home port for Scarlet Lady, offering some really nice hot weather alternatives in the Caribbean in those winter months. So for those of us that live in the Northern Hemisphere in winter and are battling rain in England or snow in North America, maybe these are the sailings for you. If you're looking for something to watch, I did my own video report of a Resilient Lady sailing in the Caribbean that we took back in January. We made some mistakes along the way, and I put that video report together to tell you which mistakes I made and how to avoid them. So head over to that video for tips on how to deal with a missed or a cancelled port in the Caribbean, and how to take some very simple planning steps with excursions and shore things to make sure you have the best time possible. Just to say thank you so much for your support, not only for our website, but also the videos that we have here on our channel on YouTube. If you'd like to support us along making this content and putting these videos out, then of course make sure that you're connecting us to your Virgin Voyages bookings. Head over to VVInsider.com/book to find out exactly how to do that. It's really easy. But if you think you've missed the boat, if you pardon the pun, and you've already made a booking that isn't connected with us, there are perhaps some ways that we can still be connected to your booking. So again, you'll find some information on there on how to transfer your booking to us, and we make it as simple as possible. If you want any help with booking or with transferring, then please do let us know and reach out. Well, I'll be back next week with a new Sail Smarter guide, which looks at a particular topic about sailing with Virgin Voyages and how to make sure you get your planning perfect. So looking forward to seeing you next week. But until then, happy sailing.